Hey, thanks so much for downloading the episode. On the show today, I review a couple of films that I've seen in the past week, Captain Marvel and The Dirt about Mötley Crüe. This, plus some spring break fantasies and wishes and dreams, along with purging, things that don't spark joy, plus ugly and awkward moments of the week, spring break edition. Thank you so much. ShopLipandClip.com. Enjoy the show.
It's another uncensored look at the world around you, from sisters who will say just about anything to anyone at any time. It's the Uggs. Jamie.
The coven has arrived, people. Clear out.
Paula.
More than words.
Uncensored as always, it's time for the Ugly Truth.
Welcome to the Ugly Truth. This is episode 359.
We are Sisters Who Podcast.
Spring is here, and it's kind of icky right now, but it's spring weather. This is literally what it's like in the spring. It's rainy, it's cold, it's warm, all at once, all in one day. It's like Mother Nature has schizophrenia. It's just like it's got many faces.
Yeah, I don't know why people are so surprised by the rain. No, I mean, we usually get a rainy season up until... I want to say almost like mid-May. It doesn't really get hot until closer to Memorial Day. But
all I know is I am ready for summer. I am over it. I'm done. I'm a summer. I love the summer more than anything else. I'm always sad when it turns to fall. So I'm looking forward to the 3 months of hot. I'm ready. So ready. And my allergies are horrible. Which I absolutely hate.
Yeah, I don't know why. But I'm more of like a mold allergy person. So
yes,
like winter, fall, I'm not very happy.
Yes. So with spring, a lot of new programming comes out. Mm-hmm. Netflix has finally released some stuff I'm actually interested in watching. And Amy Schumer's new special came out. Her new stand-up special on Netflix. I know that you kind of burned out on her, but I actually really like her. And so... I've developed some sympathy since she's been pregnant. She's had the throw up disorder. I can't remember the name of it.
Hyperemesis.
Hyperemesis. And she talks about it at length in this setup, which I was kind of excited to see her have new material because she's pregnant. And so I knew she was going to be, because she's very graphic, and which is one of the reasons why I like her, because there's not too many comedians who are really graphic about what it's like to be a woman in general. Mm-hmm. We are graphic.
Right.
But we're not, we don't have millions of people loving everything we say. So she comes out and she looks adorable. She's very pregnant. She's probably 6 or 7 months pregnant. Uh-huh. She is puffy in the face. She's gained weight in all the places that women don't like to gain their weight. Her legs look thick. It's just, you know how it is. I mean, maybe you don't. I mean, were you one of those cute women who only had a belly?
Yeah, I was.
I wasn't.
I mean, when I delivered Ryan, I walked in and they weighed me and I weighed 136 pounds. So I was teensy tiny. And then, of course, with Olivia, I lost, 20 pounds the first trimester. So,
well, you had the hyperemesis.
Yeah, hyperemesis. So
hyperemesis. Well, she said hyperemesis, so maybe she was saying it on purpose that way. But anyway, her journey through this pregnancy has been funny because she said, everybody always says that, pregnancy is amazing and wonderful. She goes, it's fucking hard. It is not easy. Mm-mm. Everything's difficult. Nothing is pleasant. She goes, the things you see in the movie, they're like, oh, they get the little stick and they're so excited. And then they see the next thing you know, they're in little overalls painting the nursery together. She's like, that's all bullshit. None of that's real. Mm-hmm. And I said, oh, well, welcome to reality. Isn't that interesting? She's like, yes, I've been throwing up all the time. And did you know there's something called gag porn?
What?
Yeah, and it was funny. She said, yeah, there's gag porn. And I went, literally audibly, I went, what is that? And Daryl is silent. And I turned to him like, do you know what gag porn is? He's all, And I said, well, what is it? Apparently, guys get off on women gagging on men's penises. And sometimes throwing up.
Ew.
And she said, if you have that fetish and if you had been in my house for the last 6 months, you'd be rock hard all the time. Because I throw up constantly. So I said, oh man, I did not have what you had. I had the mouth-watering thing, which is equally as torturous. But it's been interesting to watch her talk. She actually tried to not throw up at one time.
Yeah.
on the stage. And it was like, oh my God, I literally felt like I was going to throw up because I've been there.
I don't know how she was able to do a whole segment because I literally, when I had it, I threw up anywhere from 5 to 7 times a day.
That's what she said. She goes, it's not, you don't throw up just once. It's all the day long. She's like, this part was really funny because her and her sister are like best friends. And so she's there she's with her constantly. And so she said there was one time early on where I had to go to the hospital because I just wasn't being hydrated enough. I couldn't keep anything down. And so I went to the hospital and the doctor said, you are going to be here for about 5 hours because we need to get you rehydrated, make sure you won't throw up. And she said, so I'm sitting there going, okay, 5 hours. And my husband looks at my sister and goes, hey, there's one of those painting pottery places down the street. You want to go? And she's like, yeah, leave me here. Go paint your pottery. And so I'm like, that's odd. So they go to paint the pottery. She goes, a couple of hours later, my sister comes blowing into the room and she's like, I just want you to know, be nice to him. He worked really hard on this. And she's like, okay, what are you talking about? She said, most people when they go to paint pottery for someone, they get a little teddy bear or a little vase or something like that. No, my husband got a plate and decided to paint a picture of me. So they show the picture and she goes, I look like Donald Trump. And her mouth is like a little pink bow. It was the funniest thing I'd ever seen in my life. But he was so proud of it because that's why he wanted to go. He wanted to make her a present. So he comes back. He's so in love with her. It's insane. And so she's like, oh my God, this is what I look like to you? She goes, I'm in the hospital. I look like shit. This is the picture? So but the sister was like, please be nice to him. He tried so hard on this. And I just can imagine me in the hospital and you coming in going, Jamie, please be nice to him. He worked so hard on this. He was trying so hard. And Daryl comes in and goes, look what I made for you. And I said, oh my God, it's like my life. It's like I'm watching my life. And I turned to Daryl and I said, she could be our friend. She could be in our family. This is literally one of us.
I don't know.
It's so, no, seriously, Paula, seriously.
I mean, I have issue with mates leaving the hospital. I mean, I know it's probably PTSD for me, but
yes,
I struggle with it.
First of all, if I'm that ill, I don't want anyone around me. I'd be like, go, get out.
I don't want them necessarily around me, but they're not leaving that hospital.
I would be fine with it. She was initially mad, but when he obviously came back with a gift, that was the whole point why he wanted to leave. It wasn't like he didn't want to be there. You left to paint a fucking
plate of my face that looks like shit.
I know. It's true. Anyway, I know I really encourage you to try to find it if you can. I thought it was quite funny.
We don't have Netflix anymore. I don't know why. You know what? I don't even know what we have. It's so confusing. I mean,
you can probably find clips of it on YouTube.
Maybe.
Is my guess. So, but I would encourage you to try to find some of it. I thought a lot of it was really funny.
Oh, no, she's super funny. So yeah. I'll have to ask Ryan what we have because he knows what channels I can watch. It's just...
The reason I bring it up is in our last episode at the end of the show, we were talking about Craigslist and stuff. And she had this really great advice. Now, we are not millennials.
No.
But millennials are not that far away from us. I mean, they're in their mid to late 30s. It's not like they're 15 years old. But their concept of how to communicate with potential mates and lovers is very different than was for me and you. And so there's a lot of dick pics that are sent. And I've received a couple unwarranted and unnecessary of dick pics.
Yeah, I guess I have too.
I have, and I just I actually don't give it any credence at all. I kind of ignore it, and then they'll send another one, and then and then once they realize I'm not going to respond, they just stop. It's usually Snapchat, actually. I don't get them on any other. I don't get them on. I've had one on Twitter once, but no one has my phone number, so they're not texting them to me. Anyway, she said, so apparently if you get a dick pic, send back a dick pic. And then they'll get confused and go, oh, wait, what? I thought you were a girl or something. And that will keep them. Most people will stop sending you dick pics if you send one back.
So you just have to save one in your phone and then just keep sending it the same
one. Or whatever. And just say, or send it back and they'll go, oh, I thought you were a girl. And you're like, oh, I thought we were just trading our favorite dick pics. So I'm like, that's a really good way to do that. That's a good way to handle it.
You could just say I'm in transition.
Yeah. Absolutely. You're like, oh, I thought this is what we were doing. I'm sorry. What did you want? What? This is it. Yeah, this is mine. So anyway, I'm like, oh, good advice. Good advice. If I ever get one, I will quickly Google search a dick pic and send it.
I just don't understand the whole point of a dick pic. I mean...
Oh, Paula, I have no idea why. Where did this come from? What woman said, yes, this is great. I love this. And now everyone in the world is sending dick pics to women.
I mean, I know men are very proud of their wieners. And
congratulations.
You know, this is me. This is what I have. I know they like to smack them around on things and, you know... makes them feel nice. Sword makes them feel nice, and I don't know, but
it's funny because it used to be the opposite, and now everybody in the world, everyone, come see how great I look. It's like I don't know when that transitioned to everyone needs to see everyone's penis.
But
like,
I mean,
do not.
If we sent true vagina pics, they probably wouldn't even know what they were looking at first.
They were like, "What is it? What is it? Is
this your elbow crease? Like, what
is this? Yeah.
Is that the back of your throat? What is that?
Is that your lunch? What are you eating? Is that beef stew?
Is that a sea urchin?
What is that? Is that a sea creature? Is that an autopsy?
Is that your butthole? I don't know.
Oh my God. What is that? That's a balloon knot? I don't know. And the thing is some men are so hungry for anything. If you sent them some inanimate object that looked relatively close to something of a genital, they would be like, oh yeah. Not even knowing, like, you just masturbated to my curtain rod, you idiot.
That would be so funny. I wonder if I have something. God, I'm going to have to look around.
Well, are you getting a flurry of dick pics?
No, I'm just saying I wish I could send one to someone that looked like, I'm wondering if I have like hamburger meat or something like that I can like shape in the form of something. And
now, see, now that's just too much effort. I wouldn't go through all that. I would be
add a raw egg.
In the process, I'd be like, oh, this would be hilarious. And the next thing I'd be like, what am I doing with my life? Why am I spending so much energy on this? No, I'm not doing this.
I don't know.
Just Google dick pic and send it back. That's all I would do.
Maybe I'll just, I know what I could. I just could Google vagina and then just send them a picture of that one. Find like the prettiest one possible and send it.
Why would you? No.
And then just make them believe that's what mine looks like.
Nah. Go ahead, but I would never do it. Okay, so speaking of vagina, I saw Captain Marvel.
Oh, yeah, the chick.
Last week.
The chick.
Brie
Captain.
Larson.
Yeah. Oh, Brie Larson, really?
Oh, she's so good.
Oh, okay, that's good. It
is such a fun movie.
She seems kind of tame to me.
Oh, no. It is so very girl power. I don't know. I mean, I consider myself very women forward. Like, I'm all about women, feeling powerful and feeling like they're on equal footing with anybody else. I'm not going to go out and wear my pussy hat and march in the streets.
Right.
But I'm definitely all about women not feeling like they should feel scared or intimidated by anything. Mm-hmm. This film is like that. Plus the Marvel, obviously the superhero part of it as well. Mm-hmm. It's a great, fun movie. I don't know what the reviews are. I never really looked at it. But in general, it went really fast. And I was like, oh my God, it's over already? Like, it was really fun to watch. We went to a movie where it's adult only.
Oh, so it's like after no kids allowed.
No kids allowed. It was one of those places where there's a bar in the lobby.
Oh.
So you can go in, you can order a cocktail, you can have some bar food if you want, you can order your popcorn at the bar, and then you walk into the theater. Now theaters all have the easy chairs with the tables and stuff. It's super comfy. And the theaters, this one specifically, the theater is smaller, so there's not a lot of people, as many people, but you have waiters. And you can press a button and they'll come and take your order if you want like another refresher of a cocktail.
That's cool.
It was awesome. Now, we didn't really do that because I'm not going to pound down a bunch of gin and tonics watching a 2-hour movie, but just the idea that you have the option is great. And if you order popcorn, it's free refills for the whole night.
Wow.
So, it's neat.
Well, it's like a whole experience.
It is. And so I said, well, this was super fun. I don't need it, but it's cool to do if we're, want to see like a Disney movie and we don't want all the kids there. That would be fun. Like when Toy Story 4 comes out, I will totally see it there.
Right. Okay.
So I don't have to deal with the kids going, Mom, why is he dead?
Yeah.
I don't want that. Yeah, because it may happen. So I don't really want to deal with it. So I saw that. And then on Netflix, I know you don't have Netflix, but I saw The Dirt, the Mötley Crüe movie.
Oh, yeah.
Paula, it is so fucking good.
It looks so cheesy.
No, it's not cheesy at all. It is so good. It is so good. And what I love about it, first of all, Mötley Crüe actually directed and produced it along with others.
Oh, okay.
So these guys that portray them are like spot on. And what I loved about it, honestly, is I didn't know a lot about their backgrounds because I was introduced to Mötley Crüe when I was 12. So, I mean, I didn't really know much about them. So when I heard Shout at the Devil, I was like, who is this? These people are awesome. And then right after that, I was introduced to Guns N' Roses. So I became a headbanger. I mean, the new rock back then when I was very young. And, you know, our parents were like, you will not listen to this devil music.
Oh,
you know,
please.
they were
Dad had like all the albums. At least Guns N' Roses and Def Leppard and Journey.
Yeah, that's more yacht rocky rock.
But...
Yeah, they're tame. But GNR and Mötley Crüe were unlike anything I'd heard before. And I was just like in love immediately. So I didn't really know. And, you know, we didn't have social media. So it's not like you can do a deep dive on Nikki Sixx. Like no one, you only know what you can hear or read about. And there weren't that many rock magazines that were going to get into the fact that he was abused and all this other garbage.
Right.
So anyway, very cool movie. And I had said something about how great it was and how much I was just completely entranced for an hour and 45 minutes. I never stopped watching the screen. They were like, oh, it was so sanitized. They didn't even talk about half the shit they did. And I'm like, it's apparent. It's obvious that they were far more debased than what you're seeing in an hour and a half. But to watch them go from nobodies to these superstars. And then, of course, at the end, they show actual footage of their last performance, which was in 2015. And it's so reminiscent. And I'm like, God, I wish we could go back to the 80s again. What a time.
Do you know how many times I say that to myself? Because that's, well, it's not all I listen to, but I listen to a lot of 80s music. Yeah. And I'm just like, you know, compared to today, musicianship is just not the same. Like nobody plays instruments anymore. It seems
they do. Well, here's the thing: those people exist. They're just not on the radio.
Right.
You have to go find it. But you're right. But bands like Mötley Crüe, I mean, the one that I can think of that's the most relevant right now that's really super popular is like the Foo Fighters, and they've been around since the 90s, the 80s.
And he's always encouraging like music in schools and you know, kids to just pick up an instrument and start messing around with it and learn to, you know, teach yourself. And
but what I loved also, and I saw this flippant remark but it was true. It's like the most shocking thing about the movie was how much they practiced. They were doing band practice all the time. And it was really interesting. And their feelings about certain albums and stuff like that. It's like, you know, we love Home Sweet Home, you know, Girls, 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 that album. And they hated the album.
Oh,
they hated it. They thought it was crap. They liked those two songs, but they didn't like any of the other stuff. They said it's crap. It's not even good, you know?
Probably was too commercial for them.
I don't know. And then ultimately at the end, they got the rights to their music. Their masters, which no one did. No one. The record companies hold the masters for most artists. Mötley Crüe got their music, and even the Beatles didn't have their music back then.
Wow!
So it was a huge deal, and they make it such a minor footnote. I'm like, they are rich for life. They never have to work again. They own the rights to their own music. That's
but some
a huge
of them
deal.
are so fucked up, though.
Well, I don't know how they are now, but it kind of ends with they've all kind of learned their lessons. Like I know Nikki Sixx is hardcore sober. Like
that's good. Vince Neil is just an absolute drunk. So
who? Vince Neil? I think he's sober. Isn't that why he's so fat?
Maybe he's sober now, but I mean, he's probably had at least a half a dozen DUIs, and
that dude has been through some shit.
And I mean, he's married. He's been married 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, well, you know, they go through
every stripper or Playboy bunny. So
it's funny though, because you do elicit some sympathy for him, because you know he lost his daughter when she was like 7 years old to cancer.
Oh my God! Oh, that's awful.
And they go through the whole thing in the movie, and I'm like, I can't believe I'm crying at the dirt. I mean, he went through some serious shit. He did specifically, and some of it was self-induced, of course. But you know, he didn't do anything to cause
didn't do that, yeah.
And I think that breaks people. And so but what I loved about the movie is although they went through some crazy times, they are family and they ultimately love each other. And it made it seem like for the most part, they have put their demons aside and they're better people now. I'm not saying they're good people or anything. I don't even know. But it was a really cool take on Mötley Crüe. And it made me just go, God, I wish it was the 80s again. I wish that we were still listening to this stuff. It's so fun. And I was singing every song and I was smiling and I was like, look at all the things they're wearing, all the crazy big hair and the mini skirts and the tank tops and all the crazy makeup. And God, I just miss those days so much. And I wish I had just been like a decade older when they came out so I could have really enjoyed the 80s.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I was too young, unfortunately.
I know. Yeah, actually, I was kind of surprised that didn't they start in like the late 70s?
Yeah, 78.
They were one of the original bands.
They were. And they played together for, 30 years, I think.
Long time.
Something. Yeah, it was really a good film. So if you're my age or you love Mötley Crüe, you'll love the movie. I don't know anyone who hated it. You'll like it.
I think so.
Anyway, I wanted to ask you about this. It's not on the outline, but I wanted to ask you about this. You posted that NAMI is doing a walk for mental health.
Yes.
And
it's their annual walk that they do.
When is it?
I think it's in May.
Okay. Are you suggesting that we walk?
Well, I was thinking we always are telling people that that's what we support. And
yes. I'd do it.
Let me pull
I would
it
do
up
it.
here. And I thought maybe if we could raise a little money in the process. So let me see here.
I would do it, Paula. It's like, what? Is it a 5K or something? Or do you just like
that?
walk?
It's just a walk around the park, really.
It's symbolic. Like,
and
are we going to get...
I don't even think we have to walk.
Like, are our lips going to glisten? Is it that much of a walk or is it just...
It's a really slow walk.
I have to tell you, I would love the idea of doing that, and we can accessorize with really cool, sweatshirts or something, and we could look cool doing it and raising a little money for mental health awareness. I'm all in. All in.
The only hang up I have about it is a lot of the walk is sponsored by the company that fired me. So that could be awkward, but I'm willing to bite that bullet.
Well, let's do some research, and if we decide to do it, then we'll do a thing.
Let me see when
we'll make it a thing.
It's May 4th.
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you.
Awesome. What time does it start?
9 a.m. No, actually, check-in time starts at 8 a.m.
Maybe we can send producer Deb to represent.
It's at William Land Park.
Okay, So if we decide to do this, we will send producer Deb.
We don't have to walk. We could just raise money for the walk, perhaps.
I don't know. I feel like that's kind of... Just write a freaking check then.
This is going from bad to worse.
What now?
Nothing. I'm just saying, we're slowly backing our way out of something.
No, we're not.
Something we haven't even signed up for yet.
Okay.
It says it's a 5K, 3 loops. With 1 or 2 mile options available. Well, we'll clearly be doing the 1 mile option.
We'll do the less option, but we'll send producer Deb down to check us in because we will not be prepared. And then we'll arrive somehow on time.
The walk starts at 10.
Oh, we can do that. That's easy.
The program starts at 9. I think that's where all the speakers start speaking.
Well, we don't have to see any of that. We don't care. So we'll just show up. What?
Don't say that.
Paula, we're raising money for a good cause. We don't have to see the speaking. Do we have to see the speaking?
We do care because, don't you want to hear about some of the advancements or where the money might be going to or,
I'm living the advancement.
I wouldn't say we don't care.
It's like, what? Hey, baby steps. All right. We're doing the thing. What more? We're going to show up. What more? We'll make Ryan and Daryl walk the walk. We'll just show up and drink our coffee with our big sunglasses. Do you think we can get Stephanie to do this?
Jamie, we can even get Stephanie to meet us for lunch.
You know what? I am taking such issue with that girl right now. privately texting you. It's like, what the hell?
All right, I'll read you what it said. Hold on.
Okay, so she for the last 2 weeks has said, hey, let's do brunch. I miss you guys. And I'm like, I miss you too. Yes, absolutely. Let's do brunch. She has Monday off. And she said, yeah, it's April 1st. I go, is this a fucking joke? Because she has been notorious for trying to throw April Fool's jokes on our asses all our life.
There was a whole conversation that you guys did that I didn't read because it just got too, I couldn't catch up, and because you guys talk too fast.
Okay, I had suggested a place that's close to me and Stephanie. And Stephanie was saying, well, that sounds super fun, except it's super far away from you, Paula. And I didn't respond to that because I didn't want to say, well, everything's far away for her. Like, nothing's close to you. You're like super far away from all of us. So I didn't really want to say that because I'm like, well, I don't want to be the asshole. I mean, we can always go downtown, because she started suggesting butter and bacon and all the stuff downtown. And I'm like, I'm fine driving down there. But I just thought, this is a great place. It's cheap. It's some of the old waitresses from Sam's work there. And I just thought it'd be kind of fun.
Okay.
But I think she was more concerned about you not coming because it was kind of far away. And so then she sends you, hey, if it's just us, fuck Jamie.
No, that's not what
we'll
she said.
Go.
This is what she said. Do you want to try and get some food together on Monday? I'll come out there even if Jamie doesn't want to.
Bitch! Why would she say that? I'm so mad. I'm so mad. She's acting like fuck her. I'm not going downtown. I never said that. I'm so out of my mind. I'm like, you know what, you mental lightweight. I'm so mad. I'm like, how could you ever think that? I will fucking drive. Ugh.
You guys are so funny. I will come out to that place. Just tell me what time to be there.
Well, if she will respond to you, maybe you should say something.
Okay, where is this conversation?
It's
Stephanie.
in Facebook
Actually,
Messenger.
some of the Sam's waitresses work there.
Yes.
I'll just say, I'll be there. Be there. What time?
Swear to God, sisters are so difficult.
For heaven's sakes.
God
that was
damn
funny.
It. That is fun. I swear to God, she would throw me under the bus for anything.
Well, that's why she texted it to me.
Are we not inviting the other one? Are we just not interested in that edition? I mean, I don't know. Has she reached out to Allison? I mean, are we going to go all in? Because we'll just shut that place down if all four of us are there. It'll be like a damn party. Like, what's going on? Is there some kind of event?
Yeah.
Seriously, like, yes.
The Campos sisters are here.
The coven has arrived, people. Clear out. Okay, so it is spring cleaning time. Do you do that? Do you purge in the spring?
I don't even clean my house.
Okay. What I came to realize is that I never really went through all of our items when we moved. So when the clothes of this house that we live in now came so quickly that we literally were throwing shit in boxes and getting out. We had like 3 days. So as you know, my son's coming in to move. He's moving in with us for a few months so he can save up some money so he can upgrade his living ideal place and all that stuff. And so I'm like, okay, we have a lot of stuff we need to get rid of. We need to whatever. Now, I never watched the show about the woman who says get rid of things that spark joy, but I do know how to spring clean.
What? Get rid of things that spark joy?
Don't get rid of things that, yeah.
Oh, don't. Okay.
Yeah, it's like there's that woman, I can't remember her name, but she had a Netflix show where she's like practically an OCD person where she literally gets off on organizing and cleaning and paring down things because people have a hard time letting things go. That's why people have so much crap.
As soon as I get a job, I'm hiring a house cleaner. So.
I know, but this is like cleaning out your closets and donating all your old clothes and stuff like that.
We did that, but the problem is they're all still in trash bags in the garage, so they've actually not made them to the Goodwill yet.
Right. And so I decided I needed to clean out my closet. All of the mementos and things that I have of like the kids and stuff like that, they're in cardboard boxes. And I've always said I need to go through that stuff and I need to put it in like bins because
we have ours in plastic tubs.
Yeah, exactly. So I needed to transition that stuff because cardboard boxes fall apart relatively quickly.
Or they get wet or something like that.
Right. And so I have these 2 boxes in my closet and that kind of started everything. So first, I said, I have so many clothes that I will never ever wear. They're 2 sizes too big, and I keep holding on to them thinking I'm going to get fat again.
Okay.
So I don't get rid of them because I'm afraid I'm not going to have anything to wear. So finally I said, you know what? I'm getting rid of this stuff. So I cleaned out my closet of all the clothes that I never wear, and I put them, I put them in donation bags. I got rid of all the t-shirts and stuff that I used to hide in. I got rid of all of those. So my closet's looking pretty bare. And then I took out the boxes and started transitioning all the stuff into bins. And of course, I don't know about you, but I ran into all the baby things.
Oh, God.
All the pictures, all the stuff. And I was just like, oh my God, look at. And I started just transporting myself back in time. You know that scene in Christmas Vacation where he's stuck up in the attic and he starts watching old films of the family?
Yes.
And he's putting on all the clothes to stay warm. I found ski hats and gloves, and I found my old drill team gloves from high school. And I was just going through all this stuff, and I started Snapchatting the family. And I was like, okay, I've really gone over. I had gone spiral. I'd spiraled completely.
So you probably made a bigger mess than you actually meant to.
It is destroyed in this room. My bedroom looks like a welfare recipient home. There are piles of memories everywhere. But I did ultimately get the closet done. But now there's piles of stuff everywhere. And now I'm stuck because I ran out of time. Mm-hmm. So nothing is sparking joy. But I did get all the bags to the Goodwill. Thank God.
Well, that's good.
I got that part out.
That's half the battle.
Seriously. It's so hard too because everything has an emotional connection.
Well, because you just remember what they looked like in it. And of course, whenever I see it, get the clothes, I start like bouncing them like I'm holding a baby, and then I put it over my shoulder and start burping it. And,
that's funny.
Pretend like, they're in there.
I mean, it's so cool to go down memory lane. And what's funny is now people don't do that anymore because everything's on their phone or on their computer. Mm-hmm. So you don't get to go through physical items or like photos anymore. It's so different.
Well, that's what all those organizers suggest. They're like, take a picture of it. And I'm like, it's not the same.
No, I want to hold it. I want to look at it and smell it because sometimes it smells like your baby. Yeah, it's true. The only thing is a cat somehow got in my closet and peed on one of the boxes like years ago.
Awesome.
So everything was wet. It wasn't wet anymore, but there was that hint of urine. I was like, oh my God. So they peed on all of my lingerie that I forgot I had.
Oh.
And they peed on all of it. So I actually just threw it all away with the exception of the one thing I wore on my wedding night. And I threw everything else away. I'm like, why? What is it? Why is this necessary in life? And why did I think this was cute? God.
I don't even know what I wore on my wedding night. To be perfectly honest, I had to hold my eyelids open with toothpicks.
Oh, because you were so tired.
I was so wasted. That's what my problem was. And Victor was in the bathroom for like 10 minutes. And I'm like, hurry up! I'm going to fall asleep.
It's like, what are you doing in there?
I'm like, if you want to get this done or not. Because I'm like, otherwise we're doing it tomorrow.
Yeah, I was so tired on my wedding night. I foolishly suggested that we wait till the morning. But he goes, we have to leave for the airport at like 5 a.m.
God.
And I said, oh, for the love of God. And he's like, so we don't, I mean, we could wait, but we'd still have to, like, then that means we're waking up in like 3 hours to have sex anyway. And I said,
You're
fine.
Like, why do we have to do that? Why don't we just do it when we get to Hawaii?
Right?
Guys, they just have this issue with, consummation.
Well, you look so great on your wedding day. So it's like, they want to get some of it. I understand. But it's like, I, of course, and played I don't know what I was thinking wearing white on my wedding night. What a joke.
Yeah,
but I did. I wore this white thing and it was really cute though. And I did like it, but it's like, who am I fooling?
I know. I know.
And that, I don't know about you, but wedding night sex feels so different than any other time. I don't know what it is. It felt very weird to me. Like it meant something. I don't know why. It's so strange, but it felt different. I don't know.
I think ours felt weird because, well, one, I was extremely drunk, and two, Ryan wasn't there. And so it was odd to be in the house by ourselves.
Right.
And so there was, and and to know that we were leaving the next day to be gone for like 3 days by ourselves.
Yeah.
It just, the whole thing was just so surreal. You know?
That's the word. It was surreal because, you know, we had kids too and we were alone and it was just like, wow, so this is legit. Like, this is like happening for real. Not the sex part, but I just meant the whole thing.
Like the
is
whole
very,
like honeymoon thing.
Yeah, it was very odd.
Crazy.
Yes. So speaking of, I have some ugly and awkward moments, spring break edition. So let's do those.
Okay.
It was spring break, and I was going to a show. Alice in Chains was opening for Extreme.
Ooh.
Yes, the More Than Words guys, which is hilarious.
Wait. Alice in Chains was opening. For Extreme?
Yes.
Now that's
so that
funny.
tells you the time period is like
what world does that happen?
I know, right? What even happened to the Extreme people?
I don't know.
Those two
Were
brothers.
they brothers?
Yes.
Okay.
I actually like them. I bought
They
their
only
album.
had like 2 songs that were popular.
There's a hole in my heart that can only be filled by you. Don't you remember?
I thought that was like Pornographia or something, and
yes.
and then
More Than Words.
Than Words.
That video was played at nauseum. It was so popular.
Do you know I just recently learned that song was about sex?
More Than Words?
Yes.
It's about sex?
They're basically saying, I want more from you than just words.
Saying I love you is all I want. Oh, you're right. Oh, you pigs. They did that to get laid.
I want you to do it to me.
I'm sure it works.
Stop talking. Put this
More Than
in your
Words.
mouth.
Let me fill my mouth with. Yes. Okay. Anyway, I had long hair at the time, and in case you didn't assume, I'm a man.
Oh, okay.
I was in the middle of the crowd, just minding my own business and enjoying the show. I feel someone slide their hand in to take hold of my hand. In disbelief that some woman would do such a thing, I look down at my hand, and sure enough, someone is holding my hand. I look up to find that it's another man, who is just then realizing his mistake and is recoiling in horror. He runs off in embarrassment. I wasn't bothered by him holding my hand, but to this day I'm confused and somewhat bothered that man was his move. Wow. That is a weird move to make on a woman, right?
Just to start holding their hand?
That's creepy.
As soon as I felt someone touching my hand, I would immediately retreat my paw. I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Actually, that should have been his first clue, that the person he was holding the hand with didn't recoil and go, what the fuck are you doing, you creep? Get out of here. Just get the hell out of here.
Yeah, right.
It's like, obviously it's a man who's going, hey, what's this?
It's a hand, dipshit.
I don't know who's more awkward. The guy looking up going, why are you holding my hand, dude? Or the guy going, oh my God, and running off like a girl.
That's how men are. You know,
Yes.
The one man thinks he's being sly. The other man thinks, hey, a girl's holding my hand. And then 2 guys are holding hands for a few seconds.
So, Joe, how was your spring break? Well, a man held my hand at the Alice in Chains show. Quite a story to tell. Okay, and here's the next one. It was late night. We were on spring break. I was on the beach with a bunch of my friends in college, and I yelled, let's go skinny dipping. There's always one guy who does that. I immediately stripped down naked and jumped into the ocean, and not one person followed me. They all just laughed at me instead, took my clothes and ran off. I had to run back to the beach house by a couple of other families completely naked, covering my junk.
Oh my God.
Of course it's a man. Of course.
You know what? Everyone's seen Jaws. They know what happens.
Oh my God, right? And can you imagine being the one person who's like, let's go skinny dipping, and you take off your clothes and you fling yourself into the sea naked and you turn around and you're alone?
Isn't that freezing cold? I mean, I guess if you're wasted, you have no temperature, but
You have no sense of cold. You just run into the sea feeling free, and then you turn around and get the brutal reality that everyone's looking at you going, you drunk. What are you doing? Get out of the water, you idiot. You're going to die.
Did you see that meme I posted the other day? Like how you can gauge how drunk you are when you go to the bathroom?
No. Tell me. What? How do you gauge?
It says you can gauge how drunk you are when you go to the bathroom. And I said, I know how drunk I am when I go to the bathroom, when I sit down on the toilet seat and I can't feel my own ass.
Yeah. Here's the thing. When I'm really drunk and I finally decide to go pee, because in the back of my drunk mind, I know that the second I go pee, I'm going to be going pee every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You break the seal. Mm-hmm. And so you're right. But when you're alone on a toilet, you immediately recognize the level of intoxication. No doubt. You're sitting there going, well, for me, I sit down and I'm like, oh my God, this feels so good, because I had to pee so bad and I didn't realize. And I'm like, oh, I'm one of those people too. If somebody was standing by the door, they hear me going, oh God, I'm so glad I'm peeing. God. And then I sit there and go, oh, wait a minute. I'm a little woozy. Oh shit. I better drink some water when I get out there. But it takes me forever to I'll look in the mirror laughing at myself, buttoning my pants. Yeah, it's true.
My friend, he said that he'll be peeing and then he starts resting his forehead against the wall.
Oh no, that's bad.
To prevent himself from, wobbling. But
I told you about the time that Daryl was so intoxicated on margaritas that he went into the bathroom. We were all in the backyard in our white trash outside pool.
Okay.
It was me and his brother and Daryl. And we're all in the pool completely hammered. We'd had so many margaritas. And Daryl goes, I got to go to the bathroom. So he gets out of the pool. And so Brad and I are just talking shit. And it had been some time. And I go, I know we're drunk, but I feel like it's been a while. So I go, I'll be right back. He goes, okay. So he starts swimming around. And I go into the house. And the bathroom door is shut. And I'm like, hey. And I knock on the door. You all right? And I don't hear anything. So I open the door. He's buck naked on the floor. Passed out cold.
Oh no.
And I was like, hello? And I said, oh my God. And he's like, So I said, you can't be naked on the floor. You got to get up. So I help him to the bed. I get some clothes on him. And I said, party's over, dude. Daryl is
Party's
done.
over, little sister.
Mm-hmm. So Brad's like, all right. God. So he sobered up and then drove home later that night. And then at some point, and of course I was drunk too, but I don't get hungover with tequila, ever.
Well, if it's good tequila, it's different.
Yeah. I never have a problem. I'm not saying that I don't get drunk and I don't feel amazing, but I don't get the pukey, headachy stuff. So I was just really, really tired. And at some point, it was 8:00 at night, and one of our kids came in, and we were sleeping, or just resting, I should say.
Right.
And someone comes in and goes, hey, our dog got out. And I'm like, excuse me? He goes, and then I woke up and I'm like, what? And he goes, the neighbor's dog got out and they're panicking because they can't find him. And I'm like, okay. And the neighbors weren't home. And so I said, all right. So we literally had to get up and drive around the town looking for this dog.
Oh, my response would have been, so how is this my problem?
I know. But we really loved our neighbors. And so we went looking for the dog. We did get the dog. Ultimately, we did get the dog. And then Daryl comes in later. And he's like, oh my God. I'm like, I feel like total shit. And I said, well, you had a lot to drink and you passed out at 3:00 in the afternoon. And he's like, oh my God, never again. He's never done that again.
Oh my God. See, in the morning, I had the same routine. I would go get an Egg McMuffin and a purple Gatorade.
Ooh, that's your mix?
That was my remedy.
For me, it's spicy Mexican food.
Ooh, that's good too.
It works so good. Then I can actually sleep it off.
Burn those demons out.
Pretty much. All right. Well, I think that's it. I think that's a wrap, Paula.
Oh, well, that is a wrap then, if that's what you say. So
that's what I say.
Thanks everybody for joining us. Like we mentioned before, it is getting ready to be springtime. So you might need some things for your garden, things for your closet. With all your spring cleaning, you might need to replenish some things. So please visit Amazon, go to uglytruth.com and click on Amazon button and then go do your shopping. And if you wanted to get some makeup or some skincare items to adjust to the temperatures and the look of the season, we appreciate that too. So go to lipandclip.com and do your shopping there as well. Have a fabulous Wednesday, and we will see you on Sunday. Bye.
Thanks for listening and sharing the show. See you next time on The Ugly Truth.